Hey, homeschool revolutionaries! Welcome back to Secular Homeschool Revolution. I'm your host, Cari, and it's still Women's History Month, so I am bringing some women's history. Did y'all know that there was a time where women couldn't vote, couldn't own property, couldn't even get their own bank account without some random man's permission? That is so insane. I'm here to break it down for y'all. So let's rewind. Way back in the United States, the Constitution didn't say women couldn't vote, but a bunch of men in power were all like, nah, voting is for landowning white men only. So rude. But then, boom. Women said, yeah, we're not doing this. Cue the suffragists. These women fought for decades, marching, protesting, and even going to jail for trying to cast a ballot. Imagine getting arrested for saying, hey, I'd like to say in the laws that affect me. Interesting that we're having to do that again. Big shout out to women like Susan B. Anthony, Sojourner Truth, and Ida B. Wells. Absolute legends. But let's not get it twisted. Some of these suffragists were real messy. Some of them only wanted voting rights for white women, straight up ignored black women, indigenous women, and other women of color. So while we celebrate the wins, we also gotta keep it real about who got left out. So finally, in 1920, the 19th Amendment was passed. And bam, women technically got the right to vote, but did all women get to vote? Not even close. Black women and indigenous women and a lot of other women of color were still blocked by racist laws. It took decades, like until the 1965 Voting Rights Act, before voting was fair. And guess what? People were still trying to mess with voting rights today. So stay loud, stay educated, and stay voting. Now, let me tell y'all something even more ridiculous. Imagine working hard, saving your money, and then someone tells you, sorry, hon, you need a man's permission to have a bank account. Yeah, that happened. For a long time, women in the U.S. couldn't have their own money, credit cards, or even sign a loan without a husband or a father co-signing. What if you don't want a husband? What if your dad was, terrible with money? It wasn't until 1974. Yes, 1974. That is 3 years before my dad was born. That the Equal Credit Card Opportunity Act made it legal for banks to say, no girls allowed. And you better believe women were ready to open those accounts and run their own finances. So, if you ever hear someone say, oh, feminism isn't important anymore, just remind them that my grandma wasn't even allowed to have her own credit card. Let that sink in. So, what did we learn today? First, women had fought hard to get the right to vote, and some people are still trying to make it harder to vote. So we gotta stay informed and stay loud. Second, women couldn't even have their own bank account until 1974. Like, what? But now We got women running businesses, investing, and being total money bosses. Third, the fight isn't over. People will always try to take away rights. So we have to stand up, speak up, and make sure we're learning the real history. No sugarcoating over here. To learn more about women's rights to vote, watch The Vote, produced by PBS American Experience. I watched it with my mom and sister to learn more about women's voting rights. All right, that's it for today. Make sure you like, follow, and tell your friends to listen to Secular Homeschool Revolution. And if anyone tries to tell you women shouldn't be loud, just remember, if we weren't noisy, we wouldn't have rights we have today. Bye!